Namaste friends. Till last video, we understood the basics of sustainability. From this video, we will try to understand some key essential concepts related to sustainability. Today, let's start with the carrying capacity, its meaning, example, and IPAT equation. Carrying capacity is the maximum number of animals of one or more species that can be supported by a particular habitat or environment. Let's first visualize capacity. It is the ability to hold or contain people or things. What would be the maximum holding ability for this flask? You would answer 1 liter. How many people can join a WhatsApp group? You would answer 256 people. Carrying capacity would have similar but additional meaning attached to it than just that of capacity. Carrying capacity was originally applied to relatively simple population environments, such as the number of sheep or cattle that could be maintained on grazing land without degrading the land. As we have seen in the introduction of sustainability, globally unsustainable consumption and production threatens to exceed the capacity of nature to sustain life forms. This imbalance can be obviously seen whether we look at greenhouse gases, number of endangered species, increased atmospheric CO2 concentration, or deforestation. The carrying capacity is different for each species in a habitat because of particular food, shelter, and social requirements, and because of competition from other species that may have similar requirements. Let's take one example. This is the grazing land for 5 sheep. But when the number of sheep are increased gradually from 5 to 10, from 10 to 20 and so on, the pasture no longer can feed and support this much of sheep population, and we will say that the carrying capacity of the grazing land is exceeded. Thus, all natural resources have certain carrying capacity of its own, and that depends on the living elements associated with it. The concept of carrying capacity was applied to human populations in the 1960s. It was noted that the consumption habits of humans are much more variable than those of the other animal species, making it considerably more difficult to predict the carrying capacity of the earth for human beings. This realization gave rise to the IPAT equation, which pointed out that carrying capacity for humans was a function not only of population size but also of differing levels of consumption, which in turn are affected by the technologies involved in production and consumption. The equation is I is equals to P multiplied by A multiplied by T, where I stands for the impact of any population and can be expressed as the product of 3 characteristics: the population size P, its affluence or per capita consumption A, and the technologies T used to supply each unit of consumption. These factors are not independent. For example, after decreasing the population, the impact will not be reduced if the affluence level and technologies are not in check. All these 3 factors in totality will determine the impact. So we can say, in totality, carrying capacity depends on the conditions and resources available in the specific area and the consumption habits of the species considered. Because both what is available in the area and the consumption habits of the species change over time, carrying capacity is always changing. Carrying capacity is a measure of sustainability within these changing conditions. Please like, share and subscribe and hit bell icon to get notified of our next video. And thank you so much for your valuable time.